Good morning and welcome back, fishies. Your boy Doc Kane's got a special treat for you on this Make It Spooky Monday. And I'm going to need a few things. Number 6 foam disc. We're actually going to set that to the side right now. You're also going to need a number 5 ball, at least one number 4, and one number 3. And you'll also need some skulls, 8-piece pack from Dollar Tree. We're going to set all that to the side for the moment. And first thing we're going to do, well, we'll go ahead and just set that there for now. We're going to open up our foam ball here. Need your paint mixing cup, and you're going to need neon black light orange, glow in the dark orange, and regular pumpkin orange. Now I know what you're thinking, okay Doc, well what are we making? Well, we're going to make kind of a topiary, a spooky one. Makes just a little bit of regular orange, about that much. Then we're going to add in some black light orange. Get it good and shake it up real good. Wow. That orange. Ugh. A little iffy. Anytime you get paint, you should always check it out and make sure that it shakes up good. And you need your decent brush. Of course, we're actually going to use this brush here, but we've got to mix it up first. Oof. It's a little chunky. And of course, just kind of start wiping it off on your foam ball there. We'll set that to the side and break out our bigger brush here. But the reason for the bigger brush is just to kind of, get quicker coverage. Okay, we're going to need to mix up a lot more. You really want an eerie looking orange. But you also want it to glow when you're done. Yeah, there we go. Still a little chunky, but it's alright. And of course, we'll need some black and greens and all that, but for right now, we're just going to mix up our orange and get it going. Of course, I like recycling some K-cups to mix paint in, just because it's easier to handle. And in case you ain't figured it out, this is going to be some pumpkins. That's why we're going pumpkin orange. And of course, you want to get that paint down in those holes. You have to loop it on in certain spots to get all the holes. Originally, I was going to do some splatter art, but I couldn't find the pieces that I needed to do the splatter art on, so I opted to do this instead. Of course, you have to be real generous with the paint. Make sure you're getting it in the holes. Getting some of the texture out of it. Thicker coats, if necessary, just spread it out best you can, because you want it to kind of dry pretty quick. At some point, you're going to get paint on your hands, which is fine. It washes off. It's water-based, so no worries there. Kind of dab it in there if you have to get it to go in the holes. And of course, you can't use spray paint, unfortunately, because it will melt the foam ball. Ask me how I know. Even the hairspray glow-in-the-dark spray will melt styrofoam, if you didn't already know. I used one about that size for the chain of the light in my bedroom so I could see it. At this point, we're going to stick it right there like that. Get as much of it as you possibly can. The very center of it really doesn't matter because it will be covered up. So you can leave, about like what I'm doing here, just a couple finger space. Of course, we'll paint the base eventually. Not real sure what color to do the base yet. This is kind of just an odd idea that popped into my head. And considering you got to get a video done, I'll do the best I can with what I got. Hope it comes out right. And I mean, if some spots, don't get completely covered, you're fine. It can add to the eerie effect. I believe it was Bob Ross that said, happy accidents are usually the best. Now, I could be wrong on that. It may have been somebody else that said it. Okay, now then, I'm just going to turn that like that. Hopefully we can get it to stay in one spot. Now then, step 2. Really should clip a clothes hanger and stick it. Let's see which one has got the longer piece here. That'll work. I'm just going to keep right on rolling. It's okay. We'll just straighten this out here, like so. Stick it in the center. It's essentially what we're going to be doing anyways, so. Now for the next part, we need to kind of measure up how many skulls high. And leave a little extra room there. Okay, so one more. We'll wipe them off. right there. We'll take our other one, line it up, and cut it. There we go. You had a rag somewhere. Just kind of get these blacked off. Had these in another area and they're a little wet. They were kind of submerged. And now what we'll do, take our drill bit, you remember this from the previous one, and we're just going to drill a hole right through the center, being real careful. Going to do that to each one, same spot. Try and keep it as straight as possible. And the last one, we're just going to drill through the bottom. That one had a lot of water in it. Shake these out. Run back off here. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to get our hot glue gun ready. This is a high temp, low temp, Sure Bonder dual temp, and we're going to use some glow in the dark glue sticks. Have a lot of fun with these. I've made many a things with them. Okay, so we're not, because this is the wrong size. Well, let's see. Oh, hey, here we go. Look at that. I was looking for the glue gun, and there it is. After I went and buy a new one. Well, that just means we're not going to be able to do this completely today, so may have to save the second half for the next video. So I'm just gonna plug this in and get a glue stick in it. Oh, I already got a glue stick in there. Well, it'll be alright. While we're my kickstand went before, while we're waiting on that, what we'll do here is start running our clothes hanger up through it. Well, I didn't get exactly straight on that. Something to be mindful of. And of course, we're gonna glue them where they touch. So as soon as this gets ready, just run a bead, stick it. Run a bead. Bead in the right spot, it helps. See, with this one on the very top, you can actually put one more glob right there on the base of the skull for it to sit on. And now that's done, we'll just set that right up here. And got a silicone bone, typically for melting chocolate, but we're actually going to fill it up with hot glue. Get another glue stick ready, because this one goes through them rather quickly. Of course, I like using the glow in the dark because these silicone molds, because you can make a lot of cool stuff. Okay, get another stick ready. Generally, I like to fill it, all the way to the top, because it will settle as it cools. We're just going to go ahead and make two. try not to have air pockets in the glue. When you're filling up a mold, you know, like with anything, you don't want air pockets. And of course the molds, it'll take a little bit for those to dry and harden, because, you know, it's very hot coming out, and okay. And we're just gonna let that sit, and we'll take a mold like this and start running the glue in it. Slide that over. Move our paint out of the way there. More of the glow-in-the-dark sticks. And what we're doing with this mold is we're making a tombstone. Now these are technically a resin mold, but you don't have to use them for that. You know, you can get creative. Just like what I'm doing right now. You know, I'm making tombstones. And this is all while we're waiting for our pumpkin to dry. It's good to stay busy. While you wait. plugged our yeah, we'll just set it up here. It's not going to catch anything on fire. And then we're going to kind of check our paint. Which looks like it's still a little wet. Yeah, definitely a lot of wet. But you know how to make a pumpkin. You know how to paint it, all like that. And of course, you know, you're going to end up making 2 of these. Ooh, crap. And they're going to set into either side. And then you're going to paint your next one. Which we'll just go ahead and do that. And get that started. What to do with the brush. Of course, you know, have to mix up more paint. Just remember your mix ratios and repeat the process, or you can go different shades. You can paint one regular pumpkin orange, one glow in the dark or neon orange, black light neon orange, or glow in the dark orange instead of mixing all of them. But me personally, you know, I like being different. I'm a little weird that way. And unfortunately, I think I'm going to run out of time here. But you know, after you get your next one painted, little hot glue, you know, with the low temp, piece of clothes hanger, set it right there, you know, and this is after you've painted your jack-o'-lantern face on it with your lines, you know, in a different shade. You know, you could take just that orange right there and do your pumpkin lines, you know, the grow lines around it. Then you're going to attach this one, and then you're going to do another one, and then get you some green twist ties, and you know, make your vines, you know. Do that right there, you know. And make a couple little leaves. Two or three. You know, a little dab of hot glue right here. Put it, you know, in between, like so. And then on top, you could even have, you know, if you can find the brown pipe cleaner, you know, you could use it. I mean, you could even use this bright fuzzy green one, which looks really cool under a black light, and you just keep going from there. Well, then your little crossbones here, which I think they're dry enough we can pop them out. Look at there. And I mean, you could even cut this in half if you wanted to. You know, and either stick them like that, or, you know, do them like that in front of it. Ooh, that's not. I need it to. Why? Now maybe it'll be good enough. And then you could just, you know, take a smaller brush or pen or something and etch, you know, rest in peace. Little clothes hanger. Attach it there. And I mean, they've even got molds of brains. Do glow in the dark skulls instead of these. And most of these are about $1.24 at Walmart. This one's $5. You'll find them over in the Halloween section. And of course, you can even make little pumpkins that glow in the dark. You know, outline them with that. Use your glow in the dark glue sticks. You know, and it's totally up to you how you finish it out. I mean, this gives you a starting point idea for what you could do. And yeah, crafting's a bit expensive. But, you know, if you've already got a lot of this stuff just laying around, you know, you can put it to use and make something very unique. You know, something that suits you. You know? But I mean, that's just, you know, a little example of what you can do with some glow-in-the-dark hot glue. And to show you, you can see it's glowing pretty good. And that's just from holding it in the light just a little bit. So, you know, imagine what it's going to do in regular light. And I mean, you see, you know, how easy that is to pop out. You know, it's silicone, it doesn't stick. And of course, you can even do these skulls as well. You know, little cartoon skulls and crossbones. But I mean, there's literally no end to what you can do when you put your mind to it. And I mean, you could even cut one of these little skulls in half and mount a brain sticking out of it. You know, go over it with, you know, real lightly with some bright red or, you know, pink even. You know, and just have the skulls lining around the bottom even. You know, I mean, that's something else you can do. We'll just pull a couple of these out, find where I put the hole in the bag. I mean, you know, you could do all 8 of them, just, you know, to hold the pumpkin tower in, even. You know, or make the silicone mold skulls and stick them around there. I mean, it's, you know, yeah, I know I'm not finishing it because, you know, it's running late. You know, I'm doing this as I get off work. And, of course, it's obviously going to take time for this to dry, you know, and I don't have the editing program to be able to record it all, you know, speed up time and stuff like that, because truth be told, it's probably going to take a few hours for this to dry enough that we can touch it and add more paint to it without it bleeding. So, you know, that's something to keep in mind. And see, it's even getting on the skull already. But I mean, like I said, it's up to you what you want to do, how you want to approach it. I mean, you could do just the one pumpkin with the skulls around, make you a tombstone, you know, some crossbones to, you know, lay around. I mean, it's totally up to you what you want to do with it, how you want to approach it. I mean, you could even make it black like neon green. You know, you could paint the leaves on, you know, or you could get some plastic leaves from the floral department or Dollar Tree, wherever, you know, stick a few in there, you know, fake stem. Or you could actually get the pumpkins, you know, the little craft pumpkins. But if, you know, they're not around, this is another option for you. And, you know, something to keep in mind. And of course, you know, you can always use, you know, your glow-in-the-dark white, you know, do the eyes with that, you know, instead of black. I mean, it's 100% up to you. I mean, you could even get a lamp kit, you know, if you could find, you know, a hollow tube, just drive it all the way down through the center of it into a wood base instead of the styrofoam base, and make a lamp. Now, do I recommend that? Probably not, because eventually the light's going to get hot enough if you leave it on long enough and it'll melt the styrofoam, but you get what I'm saying. You know, this is one of many ideas that you can do. And I mean, you could paint the pumpkin up and then stick this, maybe use better hot glue or something, and have it sticking up out of, you know. I mean, there's no limits to your imagination, and never let anybody tell you otherwise. You know, don't let anybody limit what your brain can come up with. Because when you do that, you become boring. And who really likes boring? Right? I mean, let your imagination fly. I mean, I'm just giving you I'm planting the seed for the idea, and what you do with it is up to you. You know, you water that seed, let it grow with your imagination into what you want it to be, and it'll be spectacular. You know? And if you follow along on these crafts, on our Make It Mondays, you know, take pictures of it, of the finished product, share it on our Facebook page. I'd love to see it. You know, you might even give me an idea for something. Let your imagination run free. You know, no matter what anybody tells you, it's not a bad thing. When we were kids, you know, adults would tell us, you know, oh, you have an overactive imagination, you need to knock that off. And they shouldn't have told us that. And if you have kids, don't limit them. Let them be who they want to be, and find a way to nurture it. You know, help them be creative. Because the more creativity that's in the world, the better off the world can be. You know, the creativity could lead them down the path of science and medicine, and they find a cure for cancer. You know, find a 100% cure for Alzheimer's, AIDS, you name it. You never know what can happen when you let your imagination run. There's all kinds of possibilities out there. But I digress. Squirrel moment. But you get what I'm saying. At least I hope you do. Hope you hear me. Hope you think about it. And that's going to wrap it up for today's Make It Monday. Hopefully next Monday we can pick up where we left off on this. I might work on it a little more between now and then and get a little further along and then explain to you what I did. That way you can try it yourself or you can take it in another direction. The possibilities of what you can do is only limited by you and you alone. Whether you allow somebody to hinder your creativity or whether you do it yourself because you don't think you can. Have an open mind, a big imagination, much love, rock on. See you on the next video. Peace out, everybody.